Good morning, students. So, this is in the continuation of the previous lesson, the 100 dresses part 2, and this is 100 dresses part 2 that reveals or going to reveal why Vanda Petronsky had not been coming to school. Okay, the Petronsky family decided to move to a big city where no one would care about their unfamiliar name, Petronsky. On hearing the note, Maddie and Peggy got anxious as they realized that they would never get a chance for making improvements for all the teasing they had done with Vanda. Both the girls get relieved only on learning or when they came to know that Vanda liked them and had dedicated one of the 100 dresses, means drawings, okay, she made to each one of them. Now let's start the second part, the 100 dresses. While the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Then she clapped her hands and attention class. Everyone back to their seat. When the shuffling of feet had stopped and the room was still and quiet, Miss Mason said, "I have a letter from Venda's father that I want to read to you." Miss Mason stood there a moment and the silence in the room grew tense and expectant. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. Her manner indicated that what was coming, this letter from Venda's father, was a matter of great importance. Everybody listened closely as Miss Mason read the brief note. Meaning, shuffling of feet means to walk by sliding feet along. Expectant means hopeful. Deliberately means knowingly. And listen closely means listened with care or attention. So now everyone was having a look at the amazing drawing by Venda, okay, and admiring them when the monitor of the class brought a piece of note for Miss Mason from the principal. Miss Mason read that this note multiple times. She read this note multiple times to the student as she couldn't believe what was written in it. Okay. Finally, she decided to gather the class to read it loud and clear when she understood it. So it was a letter from Venda Petronsky, dad or father. She silenced for a while, which created tension in the minds of her students. She adjusted her spectacles, which made it clear how important that note was. She began reading it, and everyone listened it carefully. Okay, now the next paragraph. Dear teacher, my Venda will not come to your school anymore. Jake also. Now we move away to big city. No more holler Pollock. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in the big city. Yours truly, Jen Petronsky. So, meaning of the words, these words in the letter. The letter began with a salutation to Miss Mason, and Venda's father conveyed his intention of not sending both of his children, Venda and her brother Jake, to school, in that school anymore. And he mentioned that they were shifting to another big city, okay, where no one would care enough about their strange names. A big city with a lot of people having weird names. Okay. So actually, Wanda's classmates thought her name was weird, means it was funny. And Wanda was a Polish immigrant to America and thus had an unfamiliar name. Why it seemed unfamiliar to them? Because they never heard such a name ever. Okay, next paragraph. A deep silence met the reading of this letter. Okay, Miss Mason took off her glasses, blew on them, and wiped them on her soft white handkerchief. Then she put them on again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice was very low. I'm sure that none of the boys and girls in room 13 would purposely and deliberately hurt anyone's feeling because his or her name happened to be a long, unfamiliar one. I prefer to think that what was said in thoughtlessness. I know that all of you feel the way I do. That is a very unfortunate thing to have happened. Unfortunate and sad, both, and I want you all to think about it. Meaning, so after hearing what was there in that letter, everyone was left speechless. They became dumbstruck. Miss Mason, too, okay, became speechless. She was stunned, and thus she cleaned her glasses, wore them again, and spoke to the class. And how did she spoke? She spoke in a low tone. She conveyed her disappointment to the class and asked them to make her sure that nothing was done purposely to hurt Venda. She gave the children benefit of doubt that everything they did was done unintentionally. She said whatever happened was sad and unfortunate. She advised her students to introspect, means to find out or to assess themselves about it too. Okay, now the next paragraph. The first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not put her mind on her work. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy ask Wenda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. She had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as what Peggy had done. Worse, she was a coward. At least Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean, but she, Maddie, had thought they were doing wrong. She could put herself in Venda's shoes. Now, the meaning of this line. So, everyone began thinking about what was written in that letter and how each one of them made Venda feel. Each one of them means two girls, Maggie and Maddie. Understand? In their first period, Maddie couldn't concentrate on her studies as she fell sick for not stopping Peggy at the right time. Why she was worried? What was her concern? As she could not stop Peggy. Had she stopped Peggy from playing that dress game with Venda, things could have been different. Okay, according to her. Although Maddie never teased Venda, but nor did she stop Peggy from doing it. She just stood by her side or stood with her speechless. She did not stop her. Understand? Which makes her just as bad or maybe worse. Peggy's intention were never to hurt Venda, and she was not aware that her game hurt her feelings. Maddie, on the other hand, was aware of its impact, yet she stood silent, which made her a coward, okay, for not standing against what was happened wrong. Now, next paragraph. Goodness, wasn't there anything she could do? If only she could tell Venda she hadn't meant to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy. But Peggy did not look up. She seemed to be studying hard. Well, whether Peggy felt badly or not, Maddie had to do something. She had to find Venda Petronsky. Maybe she had not yet moved away. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her and they would tell Venda she had won the contest. That they thought she was smart and the 100 dresses were beautiful. Now, the meaning of this paragraph. So she filled with lot of guilt and she regret. Okay, who regrets? Maddie. So she filled with guilt and regret. Now Maddie wished for a chance to apologize to Wanda, means to us to forgive her, hoping Peggy would be thinking about Wanda too. She takes a look at Peg, but she looked at Peggy, but she was busy studying. So, regardless of what Peggy was thinking, Maddie decided to take some action. She hoped Wanda hadn't yet moved from there. Okay, and she could tell her how sorry she was and appreciate her 100 dresses. Now, next paragraph. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said, with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not." So Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peg was really all right. The two girls hurried out of the building, up the street toward Boggins Heights, the part of town that wore such a forbidding air on this kind of a November afternoon, drizzly, damp, and dismal. See the meaning here on the left side of the page. Casualness means being careless, forbidding means looking unfriendly or frightening, drizzly means with rain coming. Now, meaning of the paragraph. So that day, after the school had ended, Peggy asked Maddie if they could go and check if Wanda has moved or not. Maddie was satisfied at the thought that they both had same plans of apologizing to Wanda. Wanda means both of them they wanted to apologize, okay, to Wanda. So both of them hurried to Boggin Heights, the place where Wanda lived, in order to find her. During this season, the place was generally wet and the atmosphere was very sad and hopeless as it was surrounded by clouds. Okay, there was moisture in the air, so it was not so good. Okay, now next paragraph. Well, at least, said Peggy gruffly, I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name. I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb. And gee, look how she can draw. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they would find Venda. She wanted to tell her that they were sorry they had picked on her and how wonderful the whole school thought she was, and please not to move away. And everybody would be nice. She and Peggy would fight anybody who was not nice. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. Meaning of the paragraph. So now Peggy tries to comfort herself by murmuring that at least means she spoke slowly to herself. Okay, at least she didn't call her a foreigner. Okay, because she was an immigrant. Neither did she make her feel different for having an unfamiliar name. She was always in this delusion that Wanda had no idea that those girls were making fun of her. Above all, Venda is such a great artist too. Maddie, on the other hand, couldn't say a word. What she hoped for is a chance to confess, make amends means improvements, appreciate her, and try to stop her from moving away from there. In fact, she even thought of conveying her idea to protect Venda. If anyone tried to trouble her in any way, in order to reach the place before night, they hurried. Okay, both the girls hurried. Now, next paragraph. I think that's where the Petronskis live, said Maddie, pointing to a little white house. Wisps of old grass stuck up here and there along the pathway, like thin kittens. The house and its sparse little yard looked shabby but clean. It reminded Maddie of Venda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. There was not a sign of life about the house. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. She had Maddie went around to the backyard and knocked there. Still, there was no answer. Now, the meaning of this paragraph. So both the girls saw a white little house up there, which they thought was the place where Venda Petronsky lived or her family lived. The house and its surrounding were shabby but clean, just like Venda's worn out blue dress. Thin bunches of grass grew along the path that led to the house. Okay, so they followed the path and they resemble thin kittens. What resemble thin kittens? Path or the bunches of grass on the path resemble thin kittens. No one could be seen around the house. They knocked both at the front and backyard doors firmly, but to their disappointment, there was no answer. They did not find anyone there. Now, the next paragraph. You can see the difficult words meaning on this page. Damp and dismal mean wet and sad or hopeless. Gruffly means roughly. Gee, this is an exclamatory word, okay? This is a gesture or expression. Wisp means pieces, sparse means little, and shabby means dirty. Now, the next paragraph. There was no doubt about it. The Petronskis were gone. How could they ever make amends? They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she has gone now, so what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good idea for her drawing. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. Now see the meaning. Probably means possibly. Picking on someone means treating somebody unkindly. And make amendments means making improvements or to show that one is sorry by doing something else. Now the meaning of this passage. Now the family means Petronsky family had gone away from there. Maddie and Peggy's last chance to make amends to gone. In order to comfort herself, Peggy started saying that Venda must have looked for drawing inspiration only after she started her dresses game. And hadn't she done that, Venda would have never won the drawing competition. Understand? That's clear? Now, next paragraph. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. But that right night, she could not get to sleep. She thought about Venda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in. And she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. At last, Maddie sat up in the bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought. This was the hardest thing she had ever done. After a long, long time, she reached an important conclusion. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. Now, meaning of this paragraph. So, Mary also tried to convince her after what Peggy said. Okay. And that if this is the case, she doesn't have to feel so bad. But later that night, she couldn't sleep as she was thinking constantly, continuously about Venda's little house, her faded blue dress, both shabby but clean, and her glorious 100 dresses that she designed that were all lined up in the classroom instead of the closet. Okay, means they were not in the closet but they were lined up in the classroom designed by her. Finally, she sat in her bed and started thinking deeply. The hardest she had ever done She pressed her forehead tight in her hand, which indicated that she was really trying to concentrate. After thinking so much and so deeply, she came to a conclusion that she will always stand against the wrongs. And so deeply, she came to a conclusion that she will always stand against the wrongs and will never say nothing will when she has to. Okay, now next paragraph. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up, even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. She had no way of making things right with Venda, but from now on, she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. I told you the meaning of picking on someone means treating someone unkindly. So, meaning of the paragraph, she decided that she would never let anyone make fun of others because of their appearance, name, clothes, or where they come from. She would not shy to speak up against Peggy, even if it meant losing her friendship. She could not go in the past to make amends with Venda, no matter how much she wanted to, but from now on, she is never going to let another person feel embarrassed or unhappy again. Next paragraph. On Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Venda Petronsky. It was just a friendly letter telling about the contest and telling Venda she had won. They told her how pretty her drawing were, and they asked her if she liked where she was living and if she liked her new teacher. They had meant to say they were sorry, but it ended up with their just writing a friendly letter, the kind they would have written to any good friend, and they signed it with lots of X's for love. They mailed the letter to Boggins Heights, writing please forward on the envelope. Then on Saturday, both of them, okay, Maddie and Peggy, sat together and decided to write a letter to Venda in which they told her about the contest, and then they asked her where she is now, she's living now, and how that place looked like and how it is. No matter how much they wanted to apologize, they couldn't summon the courage to do so. Okay, they could not just apologize in the letter as they did not have courage, and thus ended up writing a friendly letter, just a friendly letter, no apologies in the letter. Okay, as if Wanda was their good friend. So they mailed it to Boggins Heights with please forward written on it because they did not know her new address. Next paragraph. Days passed and there was no answer, but the letter did not come back. So maybe Vanda had received it. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she was not going to answer. You could not blame her. Weeks went by and still Vanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night, making speeches about Vanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with, "How many dresses have you got?" And before Vanda could press her lips together in a tight line, the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, "Stop!" Then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. Meaning of the paragraph. So there was no reply from Vanda ever, but they didn't also receive the letter back which they sent to Venda. Thus, they concluded that it must have reached Venda. Okay, but she was so upset. Who was so upset? Venda was so upset that she didn't answer. They waited for weeks, but still no answer. Peggy began to forget about this whole business, while Maddie used to make scenarios in her head before sleeping where she is defending Venda. She thought of scenarios where large groups of girls surrounded Venda and would ask her, "How many dresses have you got?" And As soon as anyone could say anything else or more, Venda would interrupt and say, "Stop," so that all of them could end up ashamed. Okay, now next paragraph. Now it was Christmas time and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school before the holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning. You remember Vanda Petronsky? She gifted little artist who won the drawing contest. Well, she has written me and I am glad to know where she lives because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you. Now the meaning. So it was winter season now and there was snow everywhere on the ground. Christmas had come. They decorated their classrooms with bells and small trees. And that day, on the same day, Miss Mason told the student that she had received a letter from Venda Petronsky. And she's very happy to receive it because now she can send her the medal also. Now, the next paragraph. Dear Miss Mason. Before that, see this paragraph. The class sat up with a sudden interest and listened intently. Now the class was ready to listen to the letter with attention. See the meaning of intently means with attention. Dear Miss Mason, how are you and room 13? Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones all lined up in my closet. I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with the red trimming and her friend Maddie to have the blue one. For Christmas, I miss that school and my new teacher doesn't equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Venda Petronsky. So this way she wrote in the letter that uh, and the letter was having very friendly tone and in which she asked how everyone was and that they could keep her 100 dresses because in her new house she has another lot of 100 dresses lined up in her closet means wardrobe or almirah. Okay, she specifically mentioned the dress she wanted Maddie and Peggy to take home. The green dress with red trimming was for Peggy, while the blue one was for Maddie. She expressed her affection, means love, towards Miss Mason and wrote her new teacher could never replace Miss Mason. Okay, she winded up the letter. She wound up the letter by wishing everyone Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas and also wrote that she missed everyone in room number 13. Now, next paragraph. On the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. All the houses had wreaths and holly in the windows. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were staked, and in the window, candy, peppermint sticks, and cornucopias of shiny transparent paper were strung. The air smelled like Christmas, and light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the snow. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. It shows she got our letter, and this is her way of saying that everything's all right, and that's that. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight lipped, polished girl again and couldn't ever really make things right between them. Holly means a shrub, a bush, okay, having prickly dark green leaves. Small, it is having small white flowers and red berries, okay, and it is used for Christmas decoration or to decorate Christmas tree. Okay, now Meaning of the paragraph. See the word meanings of the words. Cornucopious means decorative. Containers full of flowers and fruits. Strung means hung. And then the meaning of the paragraph. So it was Christmas season and all the houses were decorated. Grocery stores were stocked with Christmas trees, candy, peppermint sticks, and other Christmas things. The atmosphere was colorful and joyful. Maddie and Peggy took home the drawings very carefully when Peggy realized that this gesture implied that Vanda liked them. They also assumed that she got their letter and everything was peaceful between them. Maddie, on the other hand, was quite sad. She was quite sad. Why? Because she would never be able to see that polished, tight lipped girl again. Okay, she would never get a chance to make amends. She went home and she pinned her drawing over a torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. Mary sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Venda had been nice to her anyway. Okay, now meaning of this passage. As soon as Mary reached home, she displayed her or decorated her drawing. Her whose drawing? Venda drawing. Okay, on that part of the wall from where her pink flowered wallpaper was slightly torn. Maddie's room was shabby too, but the drawing made it lively. The room became or wall became lively. She stared at the drawing constantly, continuously, and thought how nice Venda had been to them. Now, next paragraph. Tears blurred her eyes and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Then, hazily, she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid that she had scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing, but it looked like her, Maddie. It really looked like her own mouth. Why, it really looked like her own self. Venda had really drawn this for her. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy's. Okay, then tears rolled down across her cheeks. Okay, she just staring at the drawing which Venda given to her. Okay, then Maddie's vision got blurred from tears. She could not see as she was crying. She rubbed her eyes and noticed that Venda had actually drawn Maddie's face along with the dress. Okay, the colors of the dress were so bright and vibrant, lively, that the face was hardly visible. Maddie got excited when she found face like her and she ran towards Peggy to check if she had noticed it too. Next paragraph. Peg, she said, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy as they clattered up to her room where Venda's drawing was lying face down on the bed. Maddie carefully raised it. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed. And the head and face of this picture did look like Peggy. Okay, now meaning. So as soon as she reached Peggy's house, she asked her for the picture. The drawing was lying upside down on the bed. Maddie raised it, and yes, it was Peggy in that drawing. Okay, both left in shock and surprise at the same time. Now, the next paragraph. What did I say? Said Peggy. She must have really liked us. Anyway, yes, she must have, agreed Maddie. And she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Vanda standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off. After she had said, sure, 100 of them all lined up. See the meaning? difficult words. Blurred means made eyesight unclear. Gazed means looked intently. Vivid means live clear. Blinked away means winked. And stolidly means firmly without showing any feelings. Okay. Now Peggy surprises, or she exclaims, okay, that she was right about the thought that Venda liked them very much. Maddie, whose eyes get filled with tears every time now and then, whenever she recalled Venda, she recalled that the scene where Venda would look at the girls laughing at her also agreed with Peggy. Okay, means Maddie was also agreed with the Peggy that Venda liked them. Understand? So that's all about the chapter, The 100 Dresses. Thank you so much.